Hello friends, I'm Colonel Failure and we're in the Alps on Transport Fever once more. I'm spoiling the opening shot of today's adventure because I've got train windows open and I wanted to point them at you. Point to them at you, point them. I'm not. There's a phrase there somewhere that will make sense. Figure it out. Anyway, for the last few episodes, I've been running. I think 3 in total. I've been running with no costs turned on. It is now disabled once again. I have advanced by about 6 months. And here's a look at the balance sheet. We'll come to these train windows in just a moment. Here's the balance sheet. I used some of my illicit gains to pay the loan off in full, just because I think I'm going to need it. The running costs are, well, they're pretty much out of control. We're in July 1940. I've advanced the game by 6 months, and yeah, my running costs are pretty much exactly meeting my my income. So we've spent 475 grand on air this year and received 188k. Well, that's not working, is it? Oh, look at that! We're in the green. Water. We've made profit on water. Well, that's a good thing, given it was profitable before. But the big one here is trains, and we are actually losing money on our train services at present, with road and water being the high earners on the network right now. And part of the reason for that is the reason I have these train windows open for you. The Alpine Route 1, which is not the one we're looking at here. We're looking at, let's do this one first. This is the Looper route, which has 4 magnificent steam engines running on it, 4 Pacifics. They're bunched up a little at the moment due to the screenshot I captured at the end of the last episode. So I might need to do some manual spacing out. But as you can see, 3 of 95, 2 of 95, 3 of 95, 2 of 95. They're not exactly cramming the passengers in at the rafters there. You can have a coach and a half each if you ride on the Looper at present. The story isn't that much happier when you look at Alpine Route 1, if we hop over there. As magnificent as this train is, nobody wants to ride on it at the present time. Now, there is good reason for this, and that's going to be discussed after the intro. Do stick around. Right then, the reason for this, and let's get rid of some of these windows so we can have some jolly frame rate. Actually, oh yeah, look at that. I bring you all the best views. The reason is quite simple, and that is that the towns I've connected up really don't have many outside connections already, and therefore they don't have a massive amount of demand when it comes to inter-town passengers. So I'm trying to cultivate new passenger services where they're not being set up. So here at Arolo, we've got 4 passengers waiting that are about to be picked up, and yeah, it's not exactly jumping. I think it's safe to say we've got some people strolling down the hill, but what we do have is a whole bunch of people waiting here for the Alpine local service, which I referenced in the last episode. So if I drag that over there, I'll show you exactly where the local service runs. In fact, you can see for yourself. It takes in quite a bit of landscape. Now, the good news on this front is that Biasca here has already built up a little bit of demand as far as passengers are concerned, travelling up the valley to Coronico, then beyond to Irolo. Then, as we whiz round here, we head up to Alp de Sorecchia. The astute amongst you will realise that those are the towns that I have literally just connected up to the rail network, or rather, I have built a rail network for them. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to kill. Am I really? Have you thought this through? Not really, but we're going to do it anyway. We're going to kill off the Alpine local service, and instead try and persuade it to be multiple commuter services. The goal being that we increase the train demand. Not only will that move passengers around faster and hopefully save my financial bacon, at least for a little while, but it should also increase the growth of the towns and the subsequent number of passengers that actually want to move around. So that's what we're going to do first. Which bit am I going to do first? Well, I think we're going to see what we need here is we need a stop at the station. Right, okay, we're here. We're going from here. I'm going to go with buses simply because they're simple. And we're going to use this this circular bus station if I can plumb it in. Unable to align the terrain. There's a shocker. Although you can align it there if I spend $1 million on it. Now, as much as I do have a happy slush fund full of monies with which I can spend them on things, I don't want to. I don't want to blow it all too quickly. 130 grand. That's okay. Well, it's not great, but it'll do. So they've already got a connection here at Albert Road for the front end of the station, but the side end. Can you have a side end? You can. I've decided. Will also be beneficial, and I've been itching to use the circular stop anyway. I'm even going to smooth this out and spend some money. And just by doing this, it will give you an idea of how much the changes to the Alps would have cost. I mean, there we go. That's the best part of 50k down the tubes immediately. Brilliant. Right, and then we shall develop this station area. Now, if this pays off, we'll see some people moving in near the station, and that will make the whole gathering of passengers thing just that little bit easier. So I'm thinking we go from here round to, and what have we got over here? Who's this? That's Coronico. Okie dokie. Well, that, I mean, it's as near as damn it the same town. Right, could I do something with this bit of road, maybe? There we go. That's my road thinking noise. Too much slope. Yeah, isn't it, though? 200 grand. Look, you said you weren't going to go mad with spending. Yeah, so fine, be like that. Okay, right. So now we can at least do a loop round here, so I can put another stop in there. And all we're trying to do here is just ferry some people to the station. Then we get up to Albert Road, which is well within sight of the main station here, and we have this new bus stop that I've plonked in without really thinking about it too much. So we can do both. So if I do a new route, and we'll paint it pink so it shows up against the yellow, and we'll go from the sidings. No, we won't. That's a terrible way to go. Let's try that again. Get your head in gear, man. We'll go from Albert Road. There's no turnaround at Albert Road. You can't do a route without a turnaround. Well, we could hook up this bit of road here. I'm not sure it's going to make you full of glee, but that's something you're allowed to do. Go on, send it. Yeah, 150 grand on a corner. Yeah, perfect. Yeah, as you can see, this money's not going to last me very long, is it? Right, Albert Road, and then I want to develop this end of town, so I'm going to stick a bus stop up here as well. This is the kind of thing that I know leaves you just lamenting the lack of everything that I have going on here. All right, okay, and then from there we want to go out to this one. And then we'll go down Main Street to the station. So if we hook up that bit of road as well. This may be revisited momentarily. Don't despair just yet, friends. No, and then from Broadway we go, give me this back again, up to Highfield. And then what? Back to Albert, I suppose. Yeah, no, except you shouldn't go back to Albert. You should go to St. John's. So can you drag these around? No, you can't. All right, get rid of that and then add another one in, which is Albert. There you go. See, that makes more sense. Now, the desirable thing to do here would be then to back on yourself. So what have I just put in? I've just put in Highfield up here. Highfield, which goes up to St John's, which precious few people are going to use. So yeah, go to no, that's right. No, you're everything's fine here. Go to St John's and then Albert again, which you've got in the wrong place. I seem to recall that I did this not so long ago, of making a complete hash of this. You know what? It can go in one direction. If that means it takes you a long time to get to your destination, then so be it. Right. That at least makes some sense for now. It would be sensible also to have a stop out here, maybe there, to catch the gradual expansion. As much as this stop is within range of both Highfield and Broadway, we go from Main Street down to Broadway and then up to whatever this might be. Main Street, Broadway, whatever this is, Park Lane, of course it is, and then on to Highfield and then back to St John's. Or we remove the sidings from here, and after Highfield we stop at the sidings, given that that's got a nice turnaround on it, and then we head up and do the other side. There you go. That makes a bit more sense. It's a bit of a weird one, and you know, I'm known for my my implausible commuter routes. You know, I'm not going to pretend I'm not. What's this town? Rollo, for crying out loud. Commuter. Okay, right. Well, that's something. We've built something at least. Now then, let's put a couple of jolly good buses on this one. Passengers. The Saura Tusher, 13 passengers, 50 kilometres an hour. Nice. This Leyland, same speed, not as many passengers. We'll go with 3 of these chaps. 2, 3. There we go. Set line on the air commuter. Sounds like a Nike brand. All right, good. Right, let's follow this on, shall we? Now, we've got Kironico next. If I get this right, there's a slim chance that that I won't need to delete the local service until I've completed connecting everything up. I think I probably will, in order to drive passengers to actually use services I want them to use. So up here in Alps de Sorecchia, we have Main Street. And that's your lot. Now, Main Street's close enough to the station that we can see passengers as beneficial here. What do we got? And then we've got a secondary route that heads up through the Alpine Pass. But what we want to get here is a little bit more local traffic for local people. All right, how do you feel about that? I feel as good as adequate. Are you on both sides? No, you're not. I'm using these terribly modern bus stops. Right, and then we'll do a bit of this. A 3-stopper could do it, but let's not stop at 3. Let's go out as far as here as well, because we've got this nice triangular turnaround. And actually, we've got a bit more town that's emerging over here as well. That's jolly. We'll do some more up there, and then we'll even go, because I'm a caring town planner. We'll go up as far as there, and it can pull a UE in the street, and hopefully it won't run over the neighbourhood kids. Right. Okay. So once again, we'll enable pink. I'm going to end up with quite a lot of pink lines at this rate. Now then, where do you want to go next? Oh, I want to go to Main Street. Okay, you've gone to Main Street, and then what? And then I want to go down to this one, and then back here. And what I shall do any moment is I shall investigate to ensure that that I'm not going up and down and back and forth too heavily. All right, what do we got? Now, the trick to a successful commuter route, as much as I'm in any way equipped or qualified to tell you the best way to make money from a commuter route, But it's to get the passengers off the bus as quickly as possible. Alp di Srečia commuter. Because getting passengers on the bus is actually, it's not that difficult, but they only pay you when they get off. So if you're going, let's say someone gets on at Park Lane, which is the 4th stop here, and they want to go to Main Street, they're going to stay on for an entire circuit before getting back off again at the destination we want them to get off. Meanwhile, there'll be other passengers who aren't getting on or off or anything. Now, that route in itself might pay off quite nicely, but you have burned an awful lot of cash stopping at all those other places rather than simply going direct. That is my supposition. I invite you to argue against it. All right, I can't see another depot here, so I'm going to just buy one. Right, road vehicles. I think we'll take the... Do we want the Leyland here? Yeah, well, why not? How fast the Daimler? Daimler's pretty slow, so we'll take this Leyland and we'll go with, what do we think? Another 3. 1, 2, 3. ADS commuter. There we are. Now, the hope with all of this is that we can ferry a few more people to the station, which in turn will fill up my trains, which in turn will save me some bucks as I endeavour to make profit. There's a plane. Look, what do you got on board? 2. All right, evidently I'm going to have a look at that as well. Right, okay, so we've got Arolo, we've got Alp di Srečia, those are both done, and then Aqua Rossa. And the main problem we've got here is that the town itself is actually pretty small. If we have a look at the town's list, name, Irolo, 309, Alp di Srečia, 388, Aqua Rossa, 156. These towns need to grow. That's what's going to cause me the most problems. And until I funnel a significant amount of passengers around, we're not going to get a lot of growth out them. But the frequency of travel that I've got going on between them now should, fingers crossed, touch wood and make a sign of warding, lead to a situation where we actually get some growth going. So I'm 2 million down for the year. That's about to spike as we end November. I've spent 650 on construction, 50 on bulldozery, and 700 on new vehicles. So even taking those away, I am nowhere near break even at the current time, or am I? Maybe I am. Costs 38.4, coming in 39. Oh, everything's fine then. Unless it hasn't taken the property maintenance into account, which I don't think it has. Anyway, we're close to break even. But at this stage of the game, I should be rolling in cash. I should be Scrooge McDucking it on a regular basis. Now, is there anything else? We've got Alp done. We've got Arolo done. We've got Aqua Rossa done. We've got Blenio done. Blenio's another problem. Now we've got people waiting at the bus stop here. Maybe BNO Airport commuter. Let's sling another tram on there. Pretty sure I saw a tram depot. There we go. Buy trams. Now there was a new one just released, the Pittsburgh, which it's quite the feat of engineering. I'm going to buy one. We're going to stick it on BNO commuter. Airport commuter, whatever you prefer, and we'll replace these at the same time. Might as well stick good tech on there. Now you might go, well, they're running empty, man. What's your thinking? Well, the thinking is the more people I can stuff onto a plane, the better the planes perform, obviously. But more important than that, replace now. Yes, please. More important than that, it will encourage a little bit more transport within the town itself. Now, the other thing I should do is I should try and connect this up to somewhere else. But, I mean, we're coming round the mountain here. That's a long old way. And I don't want to connect it up to the rail network because that will immediately put my planes out of business. We've got Trons over here. And terrifyingly, this doesn't look like the worst path ever for a train route. or a light railway route. I'm pretty sure I've got the light railway mod installed, but I don't exactly know where it lives. Someone will tell me in the comments. I'm not entirely sure. No, I don't think I've got it installed. Well, that's an idiotic move. All right, let's put that one on the back burner for the moment. But think of a Truns to Blenheim light railway service. We'll do that. It might be fairly godforsaken given the weather conditions, but you know, I'm sure people will appreciate the opportunity to ride the light railway. Okay, I'm going to leave those to bed in just a smidge, and then I'm going to turn my attention to another reasonably sizable project. There's some manoeuvring going on down here. What have I? Oh, it's just a wacky bit of bridge. Fair enough. Right, now, Arolo, I think... No, it's the bottom end station. So we've already started the route out of Arolo. Kironico could get a station of its own, which would set up for a little shuttle service, maybe. But Biasca, as we get down here, has got a nice big mainline station. Well, you say big, it's not so much big at the moment. Let's keep this non-electrified. I will live to regret this. You may quote me on that later. Right. I'd rather not kill 500 grand. It's happening. Oh, I love how the game didn't go like, are you sure you want to burn £500,000 worth of stuff? And it just went like, you're the boss, chief. Just make it happen. Drop it down to flat. Do we want to tunnel through there? Yeah, it's going to be easier tunneling through there. This is how fortunes are spent. Right, there we go. Onwards, onwards, onwards. Actually, should have made it... I love it. Look at this. This is why no one wants to use their car in this area, because they get stuck behind my buses. That's perfect. Now, we're going to need to go uphill. And we possibly ought to start that early. It's going to have to be big ugly red bridge again if we're going to get the most out of this forthcoming service. But I mean, basically, from everything I've ever played in a Fever game, the more stops you have on your route, the better that route performs financially. So a 4-stop train route, that is. A 4-stop, plenty of distance in between them, train route, will yield you far better cash than a point-to-point service. Now then, where are we heading from here? Here's Kironico, and there's my target. A station here with a slight curve in it could prove to be quite the dandy. 2-track, really? You think 2-track's gonna do it? All right. If you say so. I mean, you're the boss and all. Platform length 240. Second station, of course. Spin it around. Where's me make it curvy option? Have I picked a station? I've picked one that doesn't want to do that. Right, okay, here we go. We're back here, look. 200 metre, yeah, 2 tracks. 200 tracks? That's possibly too many. And then make it curvy and then zoom back in again. Right. We're going to bulldoze that lot as we come flying through at breakneck speed. We definitely don't need it that curvy. A very gentle bit of curviness will suffice. Something like that. Oh, you can align the terrain. You definitely can. There is nothing that this terrain wants to do to you. There we go. We'll put it in right there. Conduct some bulldozing at the same time. That's what you get for giving me terrain alignment nonsense. Give me that. Kill this. Didn't even look at the price. That's how much I'm prepared to just spend every last penny I've got at the moment. Over to this one. And then bring it back again. Now, this may well need to be electrified. But this also suggests to me that these stations aren't going to be big enough. I don't want to run an express train down here on this shorter route because it's unlikely to, well, you know, unlikely is an understatement. It's not going to get to the kind of speed that leads to it making plenty of cash. Coming through. Yeah, I think I might, in the next episode, I might calm it down a little bit on the spending. It's just a thought. Don't know why I put that road in. I'm going through there. Let's see what we get. Oh, it did it. Brilliant. I was slightly concerned that it wouldn't allow me to just whip straight through that. Let's come out there. There we are, whipping straight through. This is great stuff. I've not known a new section of track that goes through multiple towns to be quite so permissive when it came to just whacking a tunnel in and getting through the middle of stuff and all of that kind of jazz. Right, let's. I know you're gonna watch that bit back and you're gonna go, how on earth did he get away with that? That should not have been possible. Right, we're going to try going under. Place your bets. Is it going to work? Well, not if you connect it like that. It's not. Let's try that. Here we go. Go on, get under. Get under. I mean, it's got to be close, right? I mean, this chap's house. He's feeling pretty pleased with himself because he made it through the last purge. Not so much this time, though. All right, let's give it another go. I'm not feeling super confident. I don't want it to create a bad level crossing. Thank you. No, the solution is going to be to bulldoze that lot, which is another £1 million that I won't see ever again. Or we go over the top. Now this is slightly higher up, so maybe over the top is viable. Then again, maybe it isn't. I don't want to do a lumpy level crossing. Ooh. All right. But then in that case, this isn't our route. This is not the way that we're going to go. So let's put in a bit of road here. Let's take it right up to the edge of the track. Keep following it along. There you go. Right. We still need to get over to the other side, though. I mean, we've got a connection that side, and that's good. Look at all this. This is all jolly well built. They go like, no, I want to build as close to the mountains as I can. All right, let's try this and see what we get. Go from there to here, and then tunnel it. How far do you need me to go? I mean, seriously, there we go. I could spend $500,000 on a tunnel under there. Feels very much like overkill. How short can I get it though? I mean, I'll spend $500,000 on it. I mean, I honestly don't want to. I just want to get over the other side of the track. All right, let's try something else. Let's try this. We've had to go for quite the bridge there. And it's because the track's raised up. And it's because we're going uphill. Because of the terrain alignment collision. I mean, this is too far away. I'm getting bogged down in a bridge here, sorry. Right, okay, that's at least plausible in terms of design. Give me the one I like, thank you. Do that, connect it onto there, do this. Bring that through here. Go on, just like that. There you go. Right, and then continue your journey into the unknown, or in fact to here. 400 grand, I don't want to spend it. I'm going to stop being completely ridiculous as far as this money is concerned. Let's get that down there and then connect that up like this. Oh, I'm having a whale of a time with stuff just working. Let's run this along the back side of these houses. No, along the back side of the houses, right? We don't want to demolish the houses. The houses are lovely. There you go. See, isn't that nice? Try and make that smooth, please. That's smooth enough. And then... too much slope! Hooray! Come on. Alright, hold on. We might be able to... yeah, I think we can... if we kill those two bits. Too much slope and a terrain alignment collision. Oh, this is fever bingo we've got going on here. Go on, what else can you give me? This is... it's almost there. How are we looking? That's okay. That'll do it. Right, okay, well, I've accomplished that. I'm not entirely sure what I've accomplished, but I've accomplished it. Meanwhile, onwards, down the valley. Now, here's our target. Here's us. Here's a road. There's a bus holding everything up. What are we going to do? Well, if I do that, it's going to try and make some kind of level crossing. This could be painful. This could be... right, there we go. We've got that. Now, that's made a bit of a mess of the road, so let's get rid of the road. Creative solution right there. And then let's try that again. Now, the change in altitude is obviously going to lead to this requiring a bridge, but if it's low enough to the ground, I will allow it, because then it becomes more viaduct-esque. 120. We can go faster than 120. 90. No. 200. That's the business. We'll take 200, and then we'll get rid of this this red business here. Now, the only reason that I would want to go faster than 200 was if I was going to run the TGV up here, which I'm not intending to do, because as demonstrated last time around, there's a good long section in here that the TGV would just look at and go, no, because of the amount of curvitude going on. Give me a... no, let's give them a medium country road here. Let's not treat these people too well. Don't connect to the bridge. That's not what I want from you. Let's go as far as that. This is ugly. And let's stick it there. No, too much. Too much curve. Stick it there. Bulldoze that. And then we'll link them up. And it will look fine. Excellent. Right, good. Okay, so that keeps the Alpine connector route hooked up, but it also means that I've added an extra 3 stops potentially to my big route. Now, I don't want to get that big route out that far just yet. What I will do instead is I'm going to use one of the smaller trains that I usually scoff at and turn my nose up at, and use that instead. You will see what I mean momentarily. Right, so we've got passengers waiting on that side. If we stick a crossover going on here, something akin to this, right, and then as we head up, that'll be fine. This is going to be a 3-stopper for the moment, and then we get as far as here. Now, where are the passengers waiting? They're on the right-hand side as we look at it, so we'll be on the left. Steady on, you're doing something ugly there, don't do that. Oh, that's come out well. Look at that. That's phenomenal. What a great piece of track and road laying. Oh, I'm good. Though you might not think so, but I really approve of that. That's terrific. Anything that looks that unsafe, I'm all about it. Get on too much slope. All right. Well, a one-way crossing it is then. But fortunately, I don't need it to do any more than that. Right, new line. This has got to be the fastest line I've added this series. Arolo South down to Kironico. Give me a better colour, please. Let's go with this big spicy green. And then from there, head it down to your friend of mine, Biasca. And then, because it's difficult like that, it doesn't want to stay on the right side of the track now, does it? We'll bang some signals in. Yeah, see, now you've got the... No, 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 no. Flipping thing. Right, we'll stick one there as a release. We'll stick another couple there, because I intend on running several trains down here. Alright, why is it giving me drama regarding where I'm sending it here? There you go. Why is it taking you this long to figure out, oh, yeah, let's use both sides of the track? Flipping thing. Right, one there and another one. Yeah. Excellent. Right, good. So there's no crossover required, but it does mean that I might want to think about setting up the stations here to allow, to be 4-track effectively. And I've missed adding Coronico on the way back. Yeah, I know. There you go. Now this is going to be another route that does not pay off. Not for a little while, certainly. It's not going to pay off at all if I don't stick some trains on it. ASAA? No, I don't think so. This is going to be lower valley, some sort of back and forth kind of a notion as far as naming is concerned. If the sound's a bit odd at the moment, it's because I'm doing some back and forth thing with my head while I try and figure out what the word is I'm looking for. That's the word I was looking for. Right. That's flight routes. That's what you're seeing there. I mean, look at all this. This is just a jolly big mess now when you pull out to that distance. Right, where are we? Going to need a depot. As luck would have it, I have one here. Okay, right, fine. Lower Valley Shuttle. Come on then, let's buy something hideous. I've got something in mind, but I am open to suggestion. Let's go for multiple unit. Now we've got... Oh, would you look at these? All right. Now, we're not going to use the HXD 1G2X because they just forgot to put the build date in. This is a train from the future. Yes. However, this... How would you spell that? Bauraya, which it clearly isn't. That's an odd name even for a bit of German. Werden elektrische Triebwagen der Deutschen Reichsbahn bezeichnet die Spezial, maybe, for den Einsatz auf der niederschlesischen Strecke Hirschberg-Paulaun entwickelt und beschafft werden. There you go. Perfect German every time. At some point someone's going to go, that's not German, dude. It is. Pretty sure. Right, okay, this will do 65 carries, 13 passengers. Hang on a tick, that's not very good. This isn't as good. It's faster though. 65 kilometers an hour is slow. What about the red arrow? It was very popular in Switzerland. Well, that settles it then. Right, let's go for... We're going to have 4 of them. I'm going to hate myself for putting something as bizarre looking as this thing in, but let's get it rolling. Right, now, before I set this in motion, let's give this a good colour. Very light grey. Very light grey. Alright, here we go. We're off and rolling. We're going on the, whatever I called this, the Lower Valley Shuttle. Unable to... It's electric. Oh... Poopy. Right. I guess we're electrifying first then. Alright, you lot stay there. Alright, don't go anywhere. I've got to do some upper my grading. Oh, no. Depot contains vehicles. Oh, no. Alright, you're all sold again. Get out. Alright, here we go. Oh, these flipping things sent to test me. Alright, so much for keeping this non-electrified. I wanted one bit that I would be happy running diesel passenger services on forever and ever, but no. It's a Swiss train, and everyone would complain about me not using it. Well, you say everyone. Right, this one and that one and some of that and a bit of this. There you go. How are we doing? I'm loving how well this is now adapting to actually... Hang on, it's not done it. It's because the line's green, mate. Get rid of that, and then it will show up the bits you haven't done. Oh, well, at least you spotted it before trying to put it in motion again. As much as that is, you know, your classic kernel failure, transport fever action, you've been doing rather a lot of that today, and you don't want to make it seem like it's obviously forced. Because, you know, while you are prone to making an idiotic mistake, let's not make too many of them. Right, electrify all of this lot, please. Thank you. And are we there? No, we're not. We've got a junction to do. Are we there? Where are we? That's a rollout. That's the end of the line. Right, good. Do a one quick check. If you never watched my Transport Fever series, I spend an entire episode at one point looking for the smallest thumbnail of track that needs electrifying. In fact, I'm not even sure it needs electrifying. There's just a gap in the track somewhere. Absolutely compelling viewing. If you were there, you'd have totally appreciated it. At the time, however, it was one of the most singularly frustrating things I've gone through. Right, I think that's good. I'm going to look the route up again to make sure it's not decided to do something wacky. It looks like it's fine. And the critical piece of this is that because it's also following the route of the Alpine bus service, which is currently wending its way down the hill here, it should put that out of business, which might bring us some local action. Now, am I now safe to buy some trains? Please, let's buy one and see how we get on with that. Set line on the lower valley doodah. There we go. We're rolling. We are underway. Action stations. Hold on. I'll find a camera angle that works in a minute. Just let me set the very pleasant light grey that I'd opted for. Oh, yeah, look, see, it's heading up towards the snow. It's just lovely. That's a nice colour. Right, let's buy another 3 of those. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to space them out over time. Follow that train. Actually, you know what? It looks terrible in the little picture, but you get one close up and you kind of go, actually, this is kind of funky. I like it. There's a bit of an Art Deco thing going on here, which, you know, I'm a sucker for. And here we go. It's not going to pick any passengers up. It's on the wrong side of the platform. So you've got people dashing underneath going, no, I wanted that one. I go, no, too late, my friend. You will not have that one. Right, you get to work. This one on to the same one. There it is, look. There we go. And so what I'll do is I'll do some manual spacing on this in order to get them in the right kind of facing, the right kind of attitude, the right kind of style. And with that in place, we should be pumping it, making it work. Right, we're up as far as June the following year. Last year we hemorrhaged 3.2 million. We're 25 million down this year. I have spent 18 million quid on new trains. I've also spent somehow 10 million quid on new track. I will now ease off on spending with quite such abandon. The hope is that, I mean, last year our costs versus income were pretty close. I mean, pretty much break even. This year it would be nice to get, a more favourable result still. And then maybe, why are you stuck there? You're waiting for a free path while floating in the air majestically. Well, this is going to make my manual spacing not work. There we go. Right. How's this going to work? Because if there's another train too close, this isn't going to work. Be ready to seize the day there, little train that could. And go. There we are, he's off. Well, there's definite spacing happening here, so you know what? I'm going to set the rest of them going as well. And then we'll do some on-the-job spacing. Well, that's immersion braking, isn't it? Right, we want to follow on. Let's ride on board here as we head up to the top of the line. Typically, I would wait until this is bedded in before the end of the episode, but you've had more than enough for today. I'm trying to limit the length of these episodes a little bit, but I seem incapable of doing so. This is not because I'm trying to deny you the joy of a handsomely built, excessively paid for train route. No. What I'm trying to do is get to the point a little bit quicker. Don't seem to be succeeding too well at that, however. But let me know. Fling a comment if you'd be so kind. If you could take a couple of minutes. What's your ideal length for one of these videos? If you have no upper limit, then just going to say, like, if you want to record 24 hours and stick it all up at once, I'll watch it. I think you've got, potential emotional problems going on there, but, I am not going to judge you. No more than I just did. But, yeah, if you've got an ideal length for one of these, I think half an hour is about the sweet spot. And lately I've been running quite a bit over that. But let me know. And I will take it on board. This is, you know what? This is quite a fun route to actually sit on and ride along. There's a brave UFO watcher who's decided to get on and join the big show. Anyway, thank you for watching today. I've been Colonel Failure. Next time out, there's probably still going to be some polishing to go. The big project that we're building up towards is the redevelopment of the goods setup. And when I do that, I will take every last ship back to port and sell it. Yeah, I know. Upgrade the whole thing to modern, relay the whole thing out so it works more efficiently, and then wonder why it is I haven't got the cash to put it back together again. And before I can do that, I need to make sure that the network I do have is actually performing. It currently is not. So that's what we're working towards. So there's going to be a few more commuter bits and pieces, a few more new lines springing up in the hope of fueling the different areas of the network, so that there is at least a positive balance each year to try and take us forward. There's another one. Hello. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. Chuck a like at this one if you enjoyed it, and subscribe if you haven't yet done so, in order to keep up with what is surely going to be the most arduous spending of $75 million in a series of Transport Fever you will have yet come across. I don't just promise it, I guarantee it. Thank you very much for watching. Catch you next time. I can't, can I? I've got to let the other one out of the station. There we go. This is like the screenshot that sells itself. Where's the picture? It's around there somewhere. Cheerio.